Welcome back, everybody. Three Amigos podcast here. Chris, Anthony, Frankie, all three of us for today's episode. And finally decided that we should talk about this Cody Rhodes Rock the Dwayne Johnson situation
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's insane. It's probably some of the worst, most ass backwards, idiotic booking that WWE's ever done, which is that is a tough list to get onto. But here we are on uh on Friday. Cody Rhodes went to SmackDown, walked out, confronted Roman Reigns, who spent the first part of his promo absolutely burying the World Heavyweight title, called it the losers bracket, called it the secondary silver medal championship, the second best title. Said that everybody who's competing for that title he's already beaten. I mean, okay, I don't know who the fuck wrote that promo. Cody comes out and says that he does not want to face Roman at WrestleMania. This is the guy who won the Royal Rumble. Strange. Says that he's getting counsel from somebody else that knows Roman Reigns very well. Rock's music hits. Crowd lose their minds because it's The Rock and he wasn't advertised. So, like, of course, you're going to lose your shit. Rock comes out and just cucks the absolute shit out of Cody Rhodes. I mean, there's a famous segment on Raw called HBK loses his smile. And I mean, like, in real time, when Rock and Cody shake hands and Rock pulls him in for, I don't know, so that he can stab him in the back. Uh, Cody just goes from a smile to this, like, dead inside look of like, I can't believe CM Punk was right. Who CM Punk just did a promo about how about how if you want the true CM Punk experience, a bigger star is gonna come back out of nowhere who hasn't been in the company in a bunch of years and doesn't care, and he's gonna take your spot. And it's crazy that this is what's happening. It was also reported that when The Rock signed on to come back to the board of directors in January, part of his agreement was that he was going to get a Roman Reigns match, I guess at WrestleMania. Not really sure. Um, The Rock also brought on one of his writing buddies who writes a lot of stuff with him and for him in a move that can only assume was done in the event that TKO becomes displeased with Triple H and potentially needs a new head of creative for the company. The Rock's done this before. He shows up places that never asked for him to be a part of and attempts to take over, and it usually doesn't go well. Um, and this is probably the worst it's ever gone because tonight on Monday Night Raw, well, before we get to tonight, typically when a corporation does some stupid bullshit, they do it on a Friday with the hopes that over the weekend everybody forgets and by Monday, business as usual. That is not what happened this weekend. The We Want Cody hashtag went ultra viral. I mean,
Ultra.
ESPN was writing articles, TMZ was covering this, Sports Illustrated, who I thought didn't even exist anymore, came back out of retirement to cover this story.
Came back from the dead.
I mean,
Monster reborn.
like they were getting press that you do not want. You do not want ESPN writing about this. But the story just got too big. And for 3 straight days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, We Want Cody trended number 1 on Twitter, which is crazy. That is such 3 straight days. That is an insanely long time considering the Grammys were like last night. Like it's
Hierarchy of power is about
crazy
to
that
change.
he outtrended the Grammys. Um anyway, we get to Monday and in what I can only categorize as the most insane like level of backpedaling, they are now trying to artificially yes movement Daniel Bryan this Cody Rhodes situation in which everyone's just gonna look like a bitch. Like if they bail on this match, the Rock Roman Reigns match, the Rock's just gonna look like a huge bitch because he came back, took the main event away from the guy who just won the Royal Rumble, and he's gonna give it back now because everybody got mad. The Rock, by the way, went out, posted on Instagram in the most just tone deaf way possible, where he acknowledged that people were not happy and basically said, get over it. As if you needed any more proof that The Rock has just one of the most toxic egos in all of sports entertainment. Um,
Not just sports entertainment, I think in all of just entertainment.
yeah, they handed out "We Want Cody" signs tonight.
Try to,
They
that's
sent Drew
crazy.
McIntyre out there to play the like good guy. What is happening? What this is like expert level gaslighting that's occurring right now. Uh, Clearly they got together over the weekend. They saw what was going on. Vince McMahon's not in charge anymore. So the company's not that stupid. Like this is dumb, but they're not dumb enough to not acknowledge what's happening. And so they acknowledged it right away. They spent a lot of this episode of Raw mentioning that the Rock Roman match was not official, even though Cody just said he did not want to face Roman at WrestleMania. So, whatever. They sent Drew out there to be like out there again to basically beg Cody Rhodes, who has whooped his ass 3 times in a row, to beat him up a fourth time. I don't know if Seth has some sort of like pain fetish or he just enjoys being humiliated. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Which Drew pointed out, which is again just this is such weird writing that's going on right now. And Cody, I guess it's being like presented as he still hasn't made a decision. I mean, the Royal Rumble was like it was like a week and a half ago, man. Like, how many episodes of TV do you need to make up your mind? You also just gave away your shot. You just gave it away.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
I just they have somehow I mean, tonight was the first time in my lifetime that I have ever heard Rocky sucks chants. I've never heard that before. Everyone loves The Rock. Like
It's, you know, when
in a
he was a heel.
wrestling, but in like a wrestling landscape, this guy is almost universally loved. Every time he shows up, everybody loses their minds.
Yeah,
Does a people's elbow, rock bottom somebody, call someone a jabroni. It's like his shtick is just universally loved. And I never, ever would have thought that they would have found a way to get people to actively dislike him. Like, not to just like behind the scenes be like annoyed, but to go out there and chant Rocky sucks. That is the exact thing that made him turn heel back in the 90s. I mean, people were chanting like for him to die, but
literally.
the
Yeah.
2024 version is a little more tame. And I just don't, I don't see any, and I guess part of this is like, it's not going to be pretty. They're
Mm-mm.
clearly going to try to backtrack, which they deserve zero credit for. They put themselves in this situation. Um, this is some of the dumbest booking I've ever seen. And The Rock is basically a younger Vince McMahon at this point when it comes to pure ego and just driven by nothing but his own like lust for needing to feel important, needing to feel like WWE can't possibly succeed without him, which is literally how Vince felt and got jealous when the company was doing fine without him and forced his way back in. Wrestling doesn't need The Rock anymore. He's in his 50s. He's had plenty of chances to come back. Never wanted to come back to face Roman until now when they don't need him anymore.
I think
And I don't
it's
get it.
just to add in and interject. It's like, yeah, like you said, um, I think he needs it. He needs them more than they need him. Um,
Yeah.
that's not a it's not a very intricate quote, or it's not original, but it's pretty true. Like the only reason he came back for an appearance is because Hollywood was on strike, and then he realized
Yeah.
probably in that time frame, like, DCU wasn't working out. Maybe I should just do something else.
And
For
just remember,
yeah,
John Cena came back first.
that's true.
Rock didn't just come back out of the goodness of his heart. This was another example. He got jealous. He saw somebody else getting cheered more than him. He came back.
To defend you from all the wrestling purists that might come after you, it's all speculation. This is just us fantasy booking bullshit. But look, the guy's clearly has an ego. He
Oh
he
no.
cle
No. Hold on. The craziest part about this entire Rock Cody situation is that this is one of the few times where it is like almost universal one side.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's like 98% we want Cody and 2%, I don't know, 85-year-old wrestling fans who like are like still think The Rock is a good wrestler. He was never a good wrestler. He was just he had that it factor. He had the charisma. He just had it. This is completely one-sided. This is pretty much everyone saying Cody's getting hosed, which he totally is.
Yeah, he
Uh,
is.
I I don't I don't have any other way to put this. I have spent 3 days trying to think of like how the fuck do they unbook this? And there's really no way to do it without looking like total morons.
Word.
So all I can think of is that's that's what they're just gonna suck it up and eat crow, and they're gonna do the press conference on Thursday, and I don't know, Rock's gonna step aside and look like a total bitch. It's the thing is too, like I can't envision a scenario where The Rock truly admits that he fucked up. Like
Never.
this is the same guy who who had like he posted out like a thread when Black Adam failed, and he was like, I talked to my accountant. Turns out Black Adam actually
It
made
broke.
$5 million.
It
So
broke
technically it
even.
was a success. We're like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. Like
Yeah.
I dude, I can't fucking stand this guy. I knew he had an ego in Hollywood. I knew that. It was so clear. He had the stupid thing in his contract on the phone with Vin Diesel about how many times he could get punched in the face without looking like a bitch. But in wrestling, this was like I forget they interviewed someone backstage who wanted to be anonymous, but they basically said like this was the only fan base left that he had not alienated. And he did it. He found a way. Uh I cannot imagine him showing up to an actual arena show and like facing the music. I just can't. I cannot envision that happening. And if they go through with this match, this is going to be, what Orton and Batista would have turned into, what Brock and
Mm.
Roman were every single time. People are going to shit on it. They found a way to successfully ruin The Rock versus Roman Reigns, which is, I mean, really takes a special level of incompetence to take a dream match and make it feel like a huge fucking mistake. And I no one to blame but The Rock. I have no one to blame but The Rock. This is not Triple H's idea. He would have never had Cody win the Rumble and put himself in this sort of ass backward situation if he knew this was going to, like, if he had any idea that this was the direction. And this is the first time I've ever seen a world champion beg the winner of the Royal Rumble to face them. I've never seen that before. It's everyone in this story, which is now it's becoming a storyline now because they're going to try to Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 this whole situation.
Yeah, I
Everyone
see.
looks like a bitch. Everyone looks like a Cody looks like a bitch. Seth Rollins has looked like a bitch for weeks, begging Cody Rhodes to face him.
Give me what I want.
Rock looks like a bitch. I don't know. Roman Reigns, I guess, is the only one because he never shows up. So it's hard for him to look like Eddie. He's never on TV. I and there were like rumors that The Rock was like gonna try to push to win the belt. Oh, sure. Why not? First guy's never on TV anyway. What's the difference? I I, I've never I mean, Frankie, you mentioned it, but it's and actually some people they interviewed backstage were like, yeah, this feels like McMahon still runs the place.
Yeah,
It's level booking, man.
it's Vince level booking. Like they're really, really trying to play us and think we're stupid.
I mean, WrestleMania already sold out. So, The Rock came back with this idea when, Lesnar got named in the lawsuit and Punk got injured. The Rock and Ari Emanuel had this idea, which let's be real, it's The Rock. Ari Emanuel doesn't watch wrestling. Like, let's just be, he has no fucking idea what's going on in WWE. The Rock hat came up with this idea that WrestleMania needed to be saved. What? Save for why? Why didn't you save it last year when it was in Hollywood? Isn't that where you fucking live?
Yeah.
I This guy's such a douchebag. Like when John Cena came back most recently, he was putting dudes over.
Yeah.
And the first chance The Rock gets, he buries Cody Rhodes, the biggest baby face in the company. Buries him because he's got a huge fucking ego. And like looking ahead, which I can't imagine they're dumb enough to actually go through with this match. But let's just say they are, because they were dumb enough to lock to get this far. Who loses? Am I supposed to think The Rock, the guy who shoehorned his way into this match, is gonna lay down? The Rock, the guy who has it in his contract that he can't lose fights. The guy that didn't want to be in the Shazam movies because he didn't want to be the bad guy.
Word.
That's the guy who's going to lay down, look up at the lights, and take a 3 count. Are you kidding me? The Rock is probably Roman Reigns' idol. Why the fuck would Roman Reigns would probably walk in and be like, "Yeah, I'll take the pin." Like I just this is such short-sighted booking that there's no possible way Triple H has any idea that this was ever going to be the plan. And The Rock, like a month ago, came out and was like, well, yeah, we can't do the match this time because there's not enough build.
Mm.
What? What is the build? He showed up. He didn't say anything. He dapped up Cody, kicked him out of the ring. What's the story? He just he just feels like it now. This guy's out of breath every time he gets into the ring. He is puffing and puffing because he's a 50-year-old man who doesn't know how to wrestle anymore. I am like mind blown. And like there was something else that came out where it was like The Rock, WWE, I mean, they're trying to save face. So they're saying that they knew that the segment with The Rock and Cody was going to end up turning Cody into a bigger babyface. But they simultaneously didn't think that it would turn The Rock into a bad guy. I don't know how tone deaf you have to be to not realize that that's exactly what's going to happen. He didn't take Baron Corbin's main event spot. He took Cody Rhodes, the guy who sells the most merch in the whole company. That's the guy that you wanted him to bury. I mean, I don't know. And now they're in an unwinnable situation. And I get it. They got together. They're going to try to book themselves out of it. They can't. It's literally on video. Cody looking at Roman and saying, "I'm not going to face you at WrestleMania." Okay, sure. So a week later, he's going to change his mind, or 2 weeks, or a month later. It's ruined. They fucked it up.
Yep.
I
What are the
mean, I
chances they
don't.
turn into a triple threat?
Yeah, like they try to Daniel Bryan this shit, like you were saying, and a lot of people were saying it's just gonna be WrestleMania 30 all over again.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one,
yeah.
so I don't know what it is.
Okay, you don't know
The
anything.
The Rock doesn't want to be the bad guy,
No.
so you can't you can't put him in a triple threat because people are only going to be voting for one, cheering for one person. They're going to cheer for Cody. They're going to cheer for the person that they wanted to be in the match originally. And man, oh man, dude, don't put me in a situation where I have to hope Roman Reigns wins. I mean, I thought we were 2 months out from finally being free of a painfully terrible last year to what had previously been the greatest storyline WWE's ever done. And the last 6 to 9 months of this storyline have been pretty brutal, mostly because Roman's not on TV.
Right.
And I thought we were finally free. And now I really don't know. I really don't know. And it just feels like, okay, so if you do backtrack, you reverse course, you make everybody who watched the Rumble and watched Raw and SmackDown afterwards feel like an idiot because Cody's going to go out and take it all back and be like, I changed my mind again. I actually do want to face you at WrestleMania. I mean, it's ruined. He looks like a total dork. And
Yeah.
I just don't. I think also from The Rock's perspective, barring he literally comes out on Thursday at the press conference and says, I made a horrible mistake. I'm so sorry. Barring that, his reputation's cooked. I mean, he's gonna have to do all his future surprise appearances in Alabama because it's the only city dumb enough to cheer for this guy. Anyone else? I mean, he's not even in fucking St. Louis, and they're saying he sucks. This is like the reverse CM Punk chance. Like actively, person is not there. He is getting shitted on anyway.
Yeah.
That's an impressive amount of heat. Dom Mysterio comes out, tries to talk. He gets shitted on because he's physically in the building. But you have to be a real prick to get booed when you're not even there. Which, I mean, it's hard to imagine The Rock would even be at SmackDown, at any of the SmackDowns leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Because
no
when
coming for
has
one
he
this
ever
Friday.
wanted to do that? He hates it. He hates wrestling. Like, let's be honest. This guy doesn't want to do this. I don't know. His ego's hurt. He got kicked out of DC. He's not part of Fast and Furious anymore. I don't know. Young
Well,
Rock got canceled.
Yeah, dude.
not that
XFL
it
sucks.
not that it matters, but he's coming back to Fast and Furious for the next one. But
Well, we'll see.
not that it matters because I didn't like the last one anyway. Fuck that franchise. That shit.
Franchise
It's
peak,
just
like
it's
I mean,
Although I'm wondering that that's why they got rid of Cena from that one, from the next one to bring Rock back.
probably.
maybe, yeah.
It's just very
Because
disappointing,
they killed
man.
off Cena in the last one, but that's probably why.
It's very disappointing. It has been nice to see the wrestling community come together.
For
There have been
one.
people whose content I don't care for, whose like non-wrestling opinions I don't care for, who've put out, you know, just like Rock's a total bitch. This guy sucks. Cody's getting hosed. It's kind of crazy to see a community that is typically very divided on
Mm.
everything, uh, really come together and be like, this is bullshit. And you're shitting on the fans. You told us to get invested in this story. Paul Heyman, every time Roman wins, is like, we're only in the second inning. We're only in the third inning. What inning is this, Paul? Because this inning fucking sucks. Like this is it's just it's such a bad look on how you view your fans, which the previous administration hated the word wrestling, let alone the people that watched it.
Mm.
And to feel like Vince is finally gone and it's safe to watch wrestling. It's safe to get invested in these storylines now. And to just be forever paranoid that all it's going to take is The Rock to have one bad day where someone doesn't like his movie or somebody says something mean about him and he's going to want to march back in there and be champion. This is such a shame. This guy owns $30 million or 30 million, I think, shares of WWE stock, something like that. Maybe it's $30 million of
Crazy.
WWE stock. So he was effectively trying to jack up the stock price using himself because the stock tanked when Vince got outed, and he thought he could save it, which sure we've all heard that before.
Yeah.
Um, and now The Rock by himself has created just a shit situation for WWE, where if this Raw is any indication, they do not know what to do. They are somewhere between hoping that the Cody stuff maybe still blows over. And if it doesn't, maybe Drew and Seth do a match. Cody gets his match against Roman back, even though he won the Rumble. Literally, like you get the match. That's why you won the Rumble. That's the whole point of even being in the Rumble.
He even pointed at Roman at the Rumble after he won the Rumble.
Yeah. I
Dude,
know.
And
there's
it's
no
like,
way for them to
did you
get.
see Bailey's Instagram post after Rock came out, and it was like the WrestleMania poster with the wrestlers, and Rock was there, and Bailey wrote, "Why do I look like dot dot dot?"
I didn't see that. No.
You didn't see that?
No.
So because basically it's like they replaced her picture with The Rock because she's supposed to be on the poster, I guess.
Oh, damn.
If I find it, I'll share it with you guys. It's pretty
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that she's not on the Vegas press conference poster, considering
Yeah.
she
She
won the
won the
women's
fucking
Rumble.
Oh
Rumble. What
yeah.
the
Like, I mean, again, but this is and I was thinking too, like, it's so interesting, back in the 90s and early 2000s, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels were two of the most egomaniacal people in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they changed. They, you know, I guess the only difference is that they always loved wrestling. They were students of the game. They loved
Mm-hmm.
the storytelling aspect of it. They loved the technical aspect of it. I mean, two of the best like wrestlers WWE has ever had. And they've become like father figures to a lot of the people like coming up through the system and learning and um they've given lots of people opportunities who otherwise may not have gotten those opportunities under Vince. And The Rock is the same guy he always was. Never wanted to be a wrestler, wanted to be in the NFL, failed at that. I mean, wanted to be a babyface, failed at that. He was a great heel. He was a great heel,
Mm-hmm.
but he's never been a great guy. And I mean, I don't know what more evidence you need. Uh, Cody wrestled a match with one of his titties falling off, and
Of course
if
it's
The Rock had so much as a stuffy nose, he wouldn't even do the match. Um, I don't know. Cody's carried the company. He does all the house shows. He signs all the autographs. The Rock doesn't do jack shit. Shows up a month ago, puts himself, is attempting to put himself into the main event of a show that was sold out without him because he thinks it needs saving. And he's created a brutally dumb situation that is going to take a lot of I don't know, idiotic logic to somehow attempt to make it all make sense. Because again, so many things are already on video. Like you said, Cody wins the Rumble, points at Roman Reigns with the WrestleMania sign in the background, comes out a week and a half later and says, I don't want to fight you at WrestleMania. Okay. I just don't I don't see how they get to WrestleMania without everybody looking like they're idiots and the people watching are also idiots for falling for it.
I mean, I guess that's why we're not in charge, and let's see if it works, if it sticks. At this point, it does come off like if, we're trying to throw things at the wall and hope that it sticks. At the same time, that's a lot of the stuff that's happened in the last decade with them. Um, yeah, the car didn't need saving. It just needed Cody to finish his story. That's what people were signing up for.
They're
Uh,
building the whole 2K video game around that line. Like, this was obviously never the plan. The
Dude should have
Rock
copyrighted
doing
that
this was
line.
never the plan.
Should have copyrighted that line. Um,
Yeah.
I guess in a way, in a funny meme. Obviously, others won't find it funny, but this is Triple H finishing his story because Triple H remembers. I mean, we obviously don't know if he's the one pulling the story or
No.
pushing this, but it's still kind of funny thinking that Triple H is like, "Yeah, I remember you broke my throne," or when you were at the other company, that the company that shall not be named, and you think you could just walk back? You even said this, Chris. It's funny. You thought you could go walk back into the company and think you could win the title when he lost. You were like. I know you were like joking, but like I knew there was like some truth to the statement, to that comment, that statement. You were like,
No, I was joking.
nah, nah.
No, Cody's earned it,
You,
man.
you
I
know,
don't know what else he has to do to earn it. I
you know
really
what's
don't.
funny is that one joke from back in the day when The Rock tells Triple H, he's undisputed champion, so shut up, bitch. Well, now Roman Reigns is undisputed champion, so he can tell Rock to shut up, bitch,
Yeah.
and let Cody just come back and take his match. But
It's so sloppy at this point.
But yeah,
Um,
I didn't even think about the whole 2K thing, like the whole finish the story thing.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I think also what's frustrating is like for anyone that's been, watching the Bloodline storyline, even if you've like tuned out over the last several months because Roman's just not around, um, it's clear that The Rock has not watched any of it. None. Not even a tiny little bit. Probably has no fucking idea who Sami Zayn is. Missed all the stuff with Jay and Jimmy Uso. I
Actually,
mean,
I think he
this
knows what
has
Sammy
nothing to
is.
do with the story.
he probably doesn't even know which is which and which brand they're on.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Not his
There's no
cousin.
chance.
You don't
And
care.
he probably doesn't even know which is which. So which one is Jimmy? Which one is on SmackDown?
It's funny. They're very like distantly related. They're not even that related. They're not even related by blood.
He
This is
probably like,
hilarious.
which one of you is Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul. Are you gonna be okay, Chris? Yeah, yeah. You sound pretty angry.
Yeah. Well, it was nice that I wasn't alone in the way I was feeling. Uh, so many people online on YouTube and social media. Yeah, it was, sometimes these things happen and you're like, am I crazy or am I being like gaslit into something that is not supposed to be happening? Because initially, like The Rock shows up and I'm like, oh, let's fucking go. The Rock's here. And then like similar to Cody, like my smile just like slowly fades as I am realizing what's happening and how little sense it makes.
especially because I think you mentioned it earlier, the whole thing about winning the Rumble and then Rock does nothing and he gets the match. But to win the Rumble twice in a row, which not many people has done, and it's like, oh, that's a really big achievement. The Rock is just gonna walk in and take your spot, and you're
That
gonna
looks like
just
a
like
nice main event. Be a shame
like
if someone took it.
yeah, those jokes where like the kid is
Yeah.
just like standing there with his head down, kicking like the dirt because he has like no idea what he's gonna do, and he's all like
Hmm.
sad. Like that's how Cody is, and I feel like, damn, like
Hard to not
what
feel
is
bad for him, man. It's
we
hard to
need
not
Ron,
feel bad for him.
we need Ron Simmons right now. That's what we need.
Yeah, make him champion.
Just bring him out. It's like, damn,
Our truth for champion. That's all I gotta say. Give him one last run.
like did he? I mean, who's like buried deeper now, Cody or Punk's WrestleMania main event?
Oh, Cody, because at least Punk has a legitimate
Yeah.
excuse. Dude is
Nah,
hurt.
Cody just got cucked.
Got
You know, how
cooked.
to phrase it, man.
I
Rock
mean,
showed
yeah,
up,
look,
took his main
anything can
event.
happen. Is it gonna be the result we wanted to? No, because it has been soured. It's like the meat's been out too long. The fries are damp, even though sometimes damn fries hit sometimes when you're really hungry. But that's the point. Is like this fries have been sitting out too long. The burger's cold. I get it. You'll eat it if you're hungry. You'll take it. And just be okay with it. But it's not what you wanted. It's not what you ordered. It's not what you had planned. Um, and it sucks. It sucks for all involved, and it sucks for Cody, who's been trying so hard to get this done.
Yeah, I think also what's frustrating is like no pun intended, but it's so clearly damage control, which
Yeah,
almost makes me respect them even less. Like I
yeah,
almost have a tiny bit of respect if you're doing something that's really fucking stupid and everyone tells you it's really stupid and you do it anyway. Because you're just that dense. You're just that dumb. But I don't know. It's like I can't even give them credit for trying to course correct because they put themselves in this situation. So it's just so messy and it just sucks. It's overshadowing so many other like great WrestleMania things.
yeah.
Uh and WrestleMania didn't need saving. Yeah.
WrestleMania didn't need saving. Put that on a shirt. But that's gonna be it for tonight. Boys and girls, beautiful people of the podcasting universe world. We'll catch you in the next one, and let us know how you feel, because I know you're pissed, because we're all pissed. That well. Peace.